At the beginning, we see a girl named Jan. She keeps her house fully closed and has not gone outside for many days. One day, Jan opens her room window a little and sees a girl outside named Cyan. Cyan's uncle tells her to sit in the car so he can drop her at school, but Cyan refuses to get in. Jan looks at Cyan's head and sees one strange line above it. Then she looks at the uncle and sees many lines above his head. These lines show physical relationships. The more relationships a person has, the more relationships they had. Each line stops at the person they were with. Only Jan can see these lines. The uncle had many such relationships. Then Jan notices a window in the next building. A girl named Eben is sitting there, smiling at her. Jan sees that Eben has many lines above her head too. Seeing this, Jan quickly closes her window. After that, she turned on the TV, and even on TV, she can see lines above people's heads. We see a scene from the past when Jan was a small child. She saw many lines above her father's head. Then her mother saw a drawing that Jan had made. In the drawing, one line from her father's head was connected to Jan's mother. Since her mother also had some lines above her own head, she understood the meaning. She became very angry and killed her husband. Jan saw all of this happen with her own eyes. After that, Jan started talking to herself. She said, "At first, I did not understand what these lines meant. But slowly, as I grew older, I began to understand what these lines meant. I realized that because of these lines, people could even die. That is why I decided to always keep my eyes and mouth closed. In the end, I gave up on everything." Jan tried many times to end her life. Sometimes she jumped from the roof, sometimes she tried to hang herself, sometimes she tried to cut her hands, but she never died. Each time, she healed by herself. Now she was looking at her reflection and telling herself that she needed to find out why she could see these lines and who had made them. Jan wondered if anyone else could see these lines and how she could be free from this curse. Then, someone knocked on her door. She looked outside through the door hole. Outside, Eben had brought some fruit for her. But even after ringing the bell many times, Jan did not open the door. Eben left the fruit outside and said, "I recently moved to the building across from yours. At first, I was thinking about bringing rice, but nobody eats that these days, so I brought fruit." Jan did not answer. Then Eben said, "I'm leaving the fruit here. You can take it." After that, she left. Jan picked up the fruit and brought it inside. She ate it slowly as if she had not eaten fruit for a very long time. In the next scene, we see Sion's uncle, named Jiuk. He is a police officer. He goes into the police station and talks to his colleagues about different things. Later, Jiuk goes to have a romantic meeting with one of his colleagues.
Meanwhile, we see Xian. A girl named Hyung, along with some other girls, is bullying her at school. Hyung says she told her to bring money, but she didn't bring anything. She also threatens Xian, saying, "If you ever complain to your uncle about us again, I will throw you off the roof." Then, we see Jiuk with his partner Don Jiuk at a crime scene. A girl has been murdered. They carefully look around the apartment. Jiuk notices some empty food boxes in the kitchen. From this, he understands that the girl mostly ate food ordered from outside. At that moment, Jiuk's Jr. comes to him and says, "I asked around nearby and found out that last night a food delivery boy wearing a helmet came here." Later, Jiuk and Don Jiuk sit down to discuss the case. Don Jiuk says that the victim was not sexually assaulted, had no enemies, did not order any food that night, and no money was stolen from the house. This means it was likely the work of a psycho. Jiuk asks if Don Jiuk looked into the victim's life. Don Jiuk replies that the victim had a boyfriend in the past, but she had been completely single for the past year. Then Jiuk tells him to find the victim's ex-boyfriend. Meanwhile, Jan is watching the news about the girl's murder on TV. The news shows CCTV footage and says that the suspect is the helmeted delivery person. Jan notices something strange. The helmeted person has only one line above his head, which is very rare. Then Jan hears the sound of a bike outside. She looks out the window and sees the helmeted person going to the building in front of hers. She quickly grabs her phone to call the police, but her phone battery dies. She plugs in her phone to charge and keeps watching the helmeted person. He goes into Eben's apartment. Jan calls the police station to report that the helmeted person entered the apartment in front of her. Then she realizes that the man is actually Eben's boyfriend. The next day, we see Hyung at school. She notices that Xian did not come to school, so Hyung goes and breaks Xian's locker. She takes out Xian's love letters and starts reading them. Meanwhile, Jiuk goes to a house that belongs to Xian. Xian comes out of a room and asks him for money. Juke gives her all the money in his wallet and says, "I will give you the rest tomorrow." Juke notices Xian's injuries and asks, "Why didn't you go to school today? What happened to you? Who hurt you?" But she replies, "What does it matter to you? Just tell me how much money you will give me." Juke asks her, "First, tell me what you will do with the money." Xian does not answer and angrily goes back into her room. Then Juke receives a call from Don Juke. Don Juke tells him that last night, a girl from Building B in the area had called and talked about the helmeted person. He asks Juke if he can go and meet her.
Meanwhile, Jiuk had already been watching Yeon's apartment window because it was fully covered. Then, Jiuk goes outside Yen's apartment, rings the doorbell, and says, "I am from the Ark police station." Yeon looks through the door hole and gets scared. It is the first time she sees someone so close with so many lines above their head. At that moment, a man comes down from the upper stairs and tells Jiuk, "There is no use. She will not come outside. Leave her dirty self alone." After saying that, the man leaves. Then, gathering her courage, Yeon opens the door a little and says, "Last night there was a misunderstanding. I thought the helmeted person was a killer, but he was the boyfriend of the girl who moved into the building next to mine." Jiuk tells her, "You are a student. You should be at school now." Hearing this, Yeon quickly closes her door. Jiuk mutters to himself, "Kids these days have become so reckless." That night, we see the helmeted man again. He enters Building B, goes to the top floor of Yeon's building, and then comes back down. When he is coming down, Yeon sees him through the door hole, which helmeted man also stops and looks at Yeon through the door hole, which scares her. Meanwhile, we see Sion sitting somewhere. She receives a message from Hyung saying that she should quietly bring money to school the next day. At that moment, Sion notices a woman taking money out from a TM machine. Since Sion needs money, she follows the woman, planning to steal her bag. When she is about to take the bag, some people arrive and she cannot steal it. Meanwhile, we see Jiuk, who is called Don Juk, saying, "I have looked into the victim's ex-boyfriend. He also lives in Building B in your area. His name is Ji Min, and he is a teacher at the school where your niece studies." Jiuk sees his photo and recognizes him immediately because he is the same person Yeon had seen outside her apartment, but at that time he was wearing glasses. Here, Don Juk tells Juk something urgent. He says that last month, the girl who was murdered also went to Jimin. This means Jimin has a connection to both victims. This cannot be a coincidence. As they're about to go to Seon's apartment, Jiuk receives a call from the hospital where his father was admitted. He tells Don Juk, "You go to Jimin's house, I will join you shortly." Then Jiuk rushes to the hospital. There, a nurse tells him, "Your father suddenly disappeared." Jiuk runs to the roof, as if he already knew his father would be there. He finds his father standing at the edge of the roof. Hospital staff arrive and bring them both down safely. Meanwhile, Don Juk reaches Jimin's apartment. When he arrives, it is completely dark. He turns on a torch and enters a room. The room is completely red and has many ropes. He calls Juk and says, "Something strange is happening here." Juk replies, "I am on the road. I will reach soon."
Jimin was hiding in the room. Suddenly, she attacks Don Juk on the head with an iron rod. The phone call is cut off. Juk tries to call back, but Don Juk does not answer. From this, Juk realizes that something has happened to him. Jimin ties Dong Ju up carefully. Then she puts on her helmet and glasses, looks at herself in the mirror and says, "Only one left." Then she comes down the stairs, but Yen sees her through the window. She notices that the S lines are connected to Eben, and she is going to Eben's apartment. Yen tries to call the police station again, but her phone battery dies. So she takes a knife from her kitchen and goes outside the building. After many years of staying inside, she can't walk properly and falls while moving around. She imagines her mother with blood on her hands reaching toward her. Meanwhile, Jimin arrives at Eben's apartment. Eben thinks it is her boyfriend, but when Jimin takes off her helmet, Eben is shocked and asks, "Jimin, what are you doing here?" Then we see that Jimin can also see the S lines above Eben's head. Jimin grabs her sister by the throat and says, "If we do this, we can all survive." At that moment, Yen arrives and tells her to stop. Jimin comes close and asks, "Are you going to hurt me with this knife? Why are you shaking so much?" Then Jimin takes the knife from Yen and strikes her, causing her to fall unconscious. Downstairs, Jiuk goes to Jimin's building, but then he sees that Yen's apartment door is open. So Yen goes back into her apartment and looks at everything on the walls. Meanwhile, Jimin keeps holding Eben by the throat. During the struggle, Jimin's glasses fall off, and she screams like a crazy person, "Where are my glasses?" After searching a little, she finds them, puts them on, and laughs, then tries to attack Eben again. Jiuk hears the screaming and looks through the window. He sees Jimin attacking Eben, and Yen is lying unconscious there. But then, Yen regains her consciousness because she heals by herself. She stabs Jimin in the foot with a knife. Jimin screams and tries to attack Yen again. Then Jiuk shoots Jimin using Yen as cover, and she falls to the ground. As her eyes close, Jimin thinks that the S-lines are disappearing. Soon, the police and an ambulance arrive. Yen is sitting there, and Jiuk gives her back her sunglasses, which had fallen outside the building when she was unconscious. Seeing Jimin's dead body, Yen wonders if Jimin could also see the S-lines, but how? Then she remembers that when Jimin's glasses fell, she was searching for them frantically. Yen thinks that maybe Jimin could see the S-lines through those glasses. After leaving the place, Jiuk asks Yen, "Are you sure you don't need to go to the hospital?" Yen stops him and asks, "The man is dead now. Who was he?" Jiuk replies, "I will tell you later." At that moment, Jian arrives and sees Yen. She asks, "Who wears sunglasses in the middle of the night?" Jiuk asks if the two of them know each other, but neither gives an answer. Later, Jiuk goes to Jian's room. Jian tells him, "If you don't bring money, don't come into my room." Jiuk replies, "Am I your ATM?" He then asks, "What happened at your school? If there is a problem at school, we can solve it together." Jian asks, "Do you want to solve it? Will you come to my school as a guardian?" She also says that the girl's full name is Sinyan, her middle school classmate. When she was little, Sinyan's mother killed her father and ran away. Then we see Yen talking to herself. She says, "For the first time, it feels like seeing these lines can even save someone's life. Now I wonder what I should do next." At that moment, she receives a message from an unknown person. The message said, "I can see S-lines just like you. Meet me at Arkai School." Then we see a girl named Yujin who is a teacher at Jian's school. Meanwhile, Yen is sitting and thinking about the message. She also looks at her middle school photos with her grandfather. From these, she understands what she needs to do. She removes all the cardboard from her windows so that light and air can come inside. Then she cleans the house properly. Meanwhile, Jian goes to her class. A girl had written bad things about her on the board. Jian ignores her and sits at her seat, but then Hyung loudly starts reading his love letter in front of everyone. When Jian tries to stop him, he hits her again. Then Yujin comes into the class. Seeing what Hyung is doing, she grabs his hair, pulls him away, and tears up the love letter. She then talks to Jian alone, saying, "If you behave like this, I cannot stand by your side." Jian replies, "I will kill him. But now I need to go home." On her way, she sees glasses in her locker just like the ones Jimin had. At night, we see Jiuk, who is still reading Jimin's case. Then Donju comes and asks, "Why are you reading this again? The case is closed." Jiuk replies, "I still feel something is strange." Donjuk asks, "What is strange?" Juk answers, "I still don't know why she was killing these girls."
Then Juk goes to Jimin's apartment and enters a room that is completely red. After looking around, he notices that Jimin is alone in the whole room. This feels very strange to him, and he wonders what it means. Meanwhile, Sion is in front of a mirror, trying on the glasses. When Sion puts on the glasses, she sees an S-line above her own head. She tries to touch it, but cannot. At that moment, Jiuk comes into the house. Seeing so many S-lines above his head, Sion screams loudly and runs outside. She looks up at the sky, and Yan sees her doing this. Then Sion goes to a place where she can see S-lines above other people's heads. From this, she begins to understand the meaning of the S-lines. The next day, Juk offers to let her leave school early, but seeing an S-line above his head, she insults him and walks away. Later at school, she is very happy because with the glasses, she can see S-lines above all teachers and students. But she sees no line above Eugene's head. Sion thinks to herself, that means Eugene, the teacher, has never had any relationships until now. Then her attention falls on him, who has two S-lines on his head, and one of the lines is connected somewhere nearby. Sion follows the line and sees that it is connected to a teacher. She becomes very happy. Next, we see a classroom scene where Eugene introduces a student. That student is none other than Yan. Eugene tells her to introduce all the students, but Yan does not say a word. Then Eugene asks her to sit at her seat. Meanwhile, we see Jiuk looking at a photo of Jimin and noticing her glasses in the picture. After that, she searches for the glasses among Jimin's belongings but does not find them. The next day, she goes to Sion's school. In the teacher's room, she finds only Eugene. Jiuk introduces himself. Eugene says, "So you are Sion's father. You look quite young." Jiuk replies, "I'm not her father, I'm her uncle." Then Jiuk tells her, "I didn't come here for Sion, I came to investigate a murder case." Jiuk asks, "Do you know Jimin? She was a teacher here. Maybe it sounds strange, but did she wear glasses?" Eugene replies, "I have never seen her wearing glasses before." Meanwhile, on the roof, Yang slaps Sion and her glasses fall down. Sion picks them up and puts them back on. As Yang tries to hit her again, Sion grabs his hand and says, "I don't have money to give you, so stop bothering me." Yang asks, "Do you have any shame?" Sion replies, "If anyone should be ashamed, it should be you." Yang kicks her hard, but then Yan arrives to stop them. Yang asks, "Are you two on the same side?" and tries to push Yan off the roof. But Yan grabs his tie and says, "Let's jump together." She pulls him down with her, knowing that even if she falls from the roof, she will not die. Yan gets scared and says, "Let me go. Have you gone crazy?" She tells him, "Promise me you won't bother us again." Yang agrees and lets her go. Then he calls her crazy and leaves. After he goes, Sion tells Yang, "Who told you to come in the middle? Next time, stay out." Then she takes him downstairs with her. Meanwhile, Juk is going to the school. Eugene tells him Sion's class will be over soon. Juk meets him and says, "If Sion finds out I came here, she will get angry." Then he leaves. But Sion sees him leaving and wonders why he came here. The next day, she sees Juk at a bar. She shows the bartender a picture of Jimin and says, "I heard this person used to come here often. Do you know him?" The bartender replies, "He was a regular customer. He often talked to himself and counted numbers while looking at people. I thought he was drunk or on drugs, but he was never completely drunk. And yes, he always wore glasses." Juk writes everything the bartender says in his diary. Meanwhile, Sion follows Young. She sees him meeting a teacher outside a motel. Sion takes a photo of the two together and later sends it to Young. But Young doesn't seem worried. Instead, he messages Sion, "You are so stupid. If anyone finds out, the teacher will get punished." The next day, Sion sends the photo to the teacher and asks for 20 million in exchange. The teacher becomes very scared when he sees the photo with Young. Later, Sion and Young go to school together. Sion asks Yan, "Will 20 million be enough for the security deposit of the new house?"
Yan asks, "Are you moving somewhere else? Why?" Sion replies, "No reason at all. I am tired of everything. This house, this neighborhood." Yan asks, "What about your uncle? Isn't he part of your family?" Sion replies, "He does not care about me at all." Yan tells her, "Even so, he is still with you." Later, we see Yanjing and the teacher together. The teacher says, "Do you know someone is threatening me?" Yanjing asks, "Did Sion send the photo to you too?" The teacher asks, "How did she find out? Did you tell her?" Yanjing replies, "Why would I do that? I'm also a victim." Then Yanjing leaves. The teacher is very scared. The next day, Sion uses the glasses to make a new friend. Yan watches her doing this. Then they go to the restroom and Sion takes off the glasses and places them beside her while fixing her makeup. Yan picks up the glasses and says, "You never wore these before." Sion replies, "Yes, my eyesight is weak now." Yan asks, "When you wear it, you can see red lines, right?" Sion is surprised and asks, "You can see it too?" Yan says, "Yes." Sion asks, "How many lines are on her head now?" Yan replies, "There is only one line." Sion believes him. Yan asks, "Where did you get these glasses?" Sion replies, "I found them in my locker." She then tries to take the glasses from Yan, but Yan says, "I won't give them to you. They are very dangerous. You don't know that someone in your neighborhood died, and they also saw the S-lines." Sion asks, "What is an S-line? What does it do?" Yan says nothing. Sion says, "Now these glasses are mine," and takes them from Yan's hand. After that, they both go home together. Yan was following her. Suddenly, she stops and asks Yan, "How can we get rid of the S-lines?" Yan replies, "I don't know." Then she remembers that when her mother killed her father, an O-line above her mother disappeared. That line was connected to her father. Now Sion tells Yan, "I think to get rid of the S-line, one of the two people must die." After this, Sion meets her boyfriend. At that time, she receives a message from a teacher. It says, "I have arranged 20 million won. Come meet me late at school." Then Sion goes out with her boyfriend. Yanjing was following her. He remembers the scene when Yan and Sion were talking in the restroom. He overheard their conversation and realizes that the glasses are very important to Sion. Later, when Sion and her boyfriend go into a photo booth, she leaves her bag outside. Yang sees this chance and steals the glasses from her bag. When Sion comes out, she cannot find her glasses and searches everywhere. Meanwhile, Yanjing wears the glasses and can also see the S-lines. But then someone kidnaps him. It is dark, so the face of the kidnapper is not visible. Sion, without her glasses, calls Yanjing and says, "I know you stole my glasses. I am going to school now. We will talk later." After that, she goes to the school to meet the teacher, who is already waiting. Sion asks, "How did you know I sent you the photo?" The teacher replies, "Yes, Yanjing told me." Sion asks, "But how can you get 20 million won? I don't have that much money." The teacher says, "I don't even have that salary. I have a family to support." Yanjing has to watch them too. Sion tells her, "You knew very well Yanjing and the other kids were bullying me, but you pretended like you did not know anything." The teacher says, "I am sorry on behalf of everyone. For now, delete this photo from your phone. I will give you the money tomorrow." At that moment, the teacher gets a notification on his phone. He checks it and sees that his wife sent him the photo. She wrote, "What is this?" The teacher becomes very angry and says to Sion, "You sent this photo to my wife? Before? Why did you do this?" Sion replies, "I didn't do it." Meanwhile, Yan runs toward her school, but then she sees Sion falling. Sion dies right in front of her eyes. This scary scene ends part 1 of the S-Line series. Part 2 will come in a few hours. Stay safe and take care, everyone.